Welcome! In this playthrough Marvel Champions card game, we continue on with Scenario 4 of Sinister Motives with the Sinister Six going up against Spider-Ham and the Spider Suit. So for our villain setup, we have many different villains here. So we'll look at the main scheme first. So we are bringing in the guerrilla tactics. For setup, we're going to choose X villains at random, where X is one more than the number of players. So we've got 2 players gone, so we're going to get 3 villains. Put those villains into play, place the active counter on the villain with the lowest activation order value. Set the other villains aside, put light at the end of the side scheme into play, trap side face up. And on this side, we have an ambush ability as a special. Choose a set aside villain at random, put that villain into play, and place the active counter on it. We're playing standard mode, force interrupt. When a villain would activate, if no villain is in play, resolve the card's ambush ability and continue that activation. And this is starting with 2 threat per player, plus 2 because of what we've done so far in the scenario. For our villains, we'll go over them once they start attacking, but we'll go ahead and choose 3 of those. And the first 3 that's going to be coming in will be Dr. Octopus, Scorpion, and Electro. And basically the way they all work is after they attack and damage you, they're going to do a special ability. Then if they attack and have damaged you, move the active counter to the next villain in the activation order. And they all have 1 defeated, remove 4 threat from a side scheme, 7 threat instead if no other villain is in play. And they all have their own individual health on the bottom of the card. So you can see Doc Ock has 8, Scorpion has 10, and Electro has 8. So light at the end is going to come in with 10 per player, plus another 10, so we're going to get 30 to start with, plus another 2 because of what's going on in this scenario. Players cannot win unless they escape. Forced interrupt. When the last threat is removed from this scheme, resolve the ambush ability on the main scheme, then flip this card. And then we've got to go just a little bit further to get out. And because of the scenario, we need to go find a scenario-specific side scheme. So I've got Bruce Force Barricade. Victory point. Threat cannot be removed from other side schemes, so we can't remove off of this one. To take care of that, and that's going to come in with 9 plus 2 because of the scenario. Also because of the scenario, we're each going to get a life-size decoy in front of us. Scheme of 0, attack of 0. The engaged player cannot thwart side schemes, and 5 health each on each of those. And of course, we have our public outcry coming into play. Then for our heroes, Spider-Ham going aggression, our Spider Suit with Penny going justice. So he's got a thwart of 2, attack of 1, defense of 1. Each tune counter on him can be spent as if it were a wild resource. In response, after he takes any amount of damage, place a tune counter on him. And size of 5, 12 health. Alter Ego, recovery 5, and after you make a basic recovery, place a tune counter on him, hand size of 6. We're on our enhanced side of the retinal display. So basic thwart power can only remove threat from the scheme with the most threat. So that's only when we're thwarting with our hero. Our hero gets plus 2 thwart, and your hero's basic thwarts ignore the crisis icon and the patrol keyword. And for him, we have decided we should have picked this up earlier. Organic webbing is going to be our special card coming in. And then for our aggression cards, we have 2 power of aggression, combat training, counterattack, 3 1x1s, 3 uppercuts, 3 piercing strikes. Then we have Tigra, Throg, Spider-Girl, and Marvel Boy. In our basic cards, we've got our 3 dual resources, 2 team buildings, Web of Life and Destiny, Scarlet Spider, Ghost Spider, and our alternate aspect card is going to be Clarity of Purpose. For our Spider Suit and Penny, so 2 for thwarts, attack, and defense. So resource, we can exhaust an interface upgrade we control to generate that upgrade's resources. Hand size of 3, 14 health. Alter Ego, recovery of 4. Setup, we're bringing this into play, an active side up. So maintenance, we can exhaust the Spider Suit to draw 2 cards. Our enhanced compact darts. If your hero attacks, remove a dart counter from here. Deal damage to up to 2 different enemies. Alter Ego action, spin a resource of any type to place 3 dart counters here. And our special card we're bringing in is going to be the Host Spider. For our Justice cards, we've got a Sense of Justice, Justice Served, Skilled Investigator, Heroic Intuition, Under Surveillance, Spycraft, 2 Overwatch. 3 multitasking, 3 clear the areas, Spider-Woman, Spider-Man, Lady Spider, and Agent Coulson. And their basic cards are 3 dual resources, Web of Life and Destiny, Spider-Man, Hobie Brown, then Peter Parker, and then Otto, and then our other aspect, we're bringing in Silk. All right, finish shuffling up our encounter deck. Then Penny Parker is going to get her 4 cards. Just let you see I'm using that as my active villain token, and I'm using dice for their damage. So Penny, 4 cards, and we've got 2 mulligans if we want. Genius, all systems go, Spider-Man, and a skilled investigator. We will... You know what? We get so many mulligans. We're going to pitch those 3 and hope for better. All right, we'll keep all systems go this time. Agent Coulson, Spider-Man, then we get to go searching for our host spider. See where that was hiding. There we go. Then Peter Porker, 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Uppercut, uppercut, Web of Life and Destiny, Swinging Web Pig, Spider Girl, and a huge wooden hammer. I think that's the only one we're going to keep. So 5 more cards: Piercing Strike, Throg, Uppercut, Clarity of Purpose, and Piercing Strike. We'll keep that one. Pitching 4. Piercing Strike, Cartoon Physics, Combat Training, and Tigra. Then we get to go looking for Organic Weapon, which was close. All right, exhaust that to draw 2 cards. Sense of Justice and Multitasking. We're going to go ahead and discard a card to get 3 counters here. Then we'll go ahead and flip over. We're going to exhaust that, bring in our host spider so we can exhaust this to ready our spider suit, which we'll go ahead and do. Then we're going to hopefully have this help us out later. Sense of Justice. Play under any player's control. Exhaust this, generate a mental resource for a thwart event. Then we will attack for 2. Spend a token. Spend deal a damage to up to 2 different enemies. We'll put 1 there. And 1 on Scorpion. Then attack for 3 to get rid of this decoy. Then over here, we're just going to flip over. Now that we're a Web Warrior, we'll bring this in. Ignore this card's resource cost if your identity has a Web Warrior trait. As a response, after Web Warrior ally leaves play, choose a player. That player draws a card. Then bring in Clarity of Purpose. Attached to a friendly character, max 1 per character. It's a hero resource. Exhaust this card, deal a damage to attached character to generate a wild resource. We are going to go ahead and do that. Down to 11. Took a damage, get our tune counter. That generated a resource. We'll use a Piercing Strike to help bring in some organic webbing. We'll give +1 thwart. Hero action, exhaust this. Remove a tune counter from Spider-Ham. Ready Spider-Ham. He gains an aerial trait until the end of the phase. Then we're going to use that along with our Cartoon Physics for combat training. Play under any player's control. Your hero gets +1 attack. We're going to go ahead and give that, or put that over here for the spider suit. Now here's where the game gets rough. we can only thwart the scheme with the most threats, which is here. But we can't remove threat from there until we take care of that one. So we will attack for 1 and end our turn. So over here, we're going to keep all systems go, drawing into rapid deployment ×2. And over here, counterattack 1 by 1, petulant pig, Marvel boy, and power of aggression. So 3 threat. Attacking over here, we're going to defend. So we're taking a base 2, 5 damage. All right, well, he's out. I was hoping he wouldn't take that much. But at least that saves us from getting an encounter card. Or from him taking damage. He did not damage our identity, so it's staying there. This guy swings for 0. Attacking over here, we're going to take it. Hopefully it's less than 5. Let's see, in expert mode. We're not in expert mode, so just 4 damage. Down to 7. We'll grab a token. We definitely took damage, so place a threat on each scheme. And we move the counter to the next baddie, which is Electro. And counter cards. Team leader. Attach to the villain with the lowest activation order. So that's going to prevent us from taking threat off the main scheme until we deal with Doc Ock. And Surge. Attached to the villain, which is now Electro. Reduce the amount of damage he takes from each attack by 1. Hero action, give the villain a tough status card and a face down boost to discard this. And that surged into, we forgot to eat before we started the game. I really want a hot dog. We may flip to alter ego form. We will. We'll exhaust. And remove a tune counter to go eat a hot dog. So I'll be back after we get that done. And through the magic of editing, I'm back after eating a hot dog. We'll pass first player. We're going to flip over. Bring in Marvel Boy. Thwart to 0, attack for 2, 2 health. When he attacks, we can spend a physical resource. This attack gains piercing and ranged. Then we'll go ahead and attack for 2 here. Then we're going to take a damage. Get a tune counter, gain a resource. Use that for 1 by 1 as a hero action. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats that enemy, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So defeat the life-size decoy, which will remove that. Then we're going to throw 2 damage over here on Doc Ock. Then we'll bring in a counterattack. So after you take damage from an enemy attack, discard this to do an equal amount of damage to that enemy. Over here, we're going to attack for 3 on Doc Ock. Takes him to 5. Ready. Attack for 3 more to take him out. So when defeated, remove 4 threat from a side scheme, which will be this one, since we still can't take off that. And we're going to use that as a resource to help pay for a rapid deployment. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. If you pay for this card using the sync ratio, which we did, we can move 3 threat from a scheme. And we're just going to remove 3 from here and 3 more from there. Now it's going to end our turn. We'll keep our all systems go. Under surveillance and speed metal alloy. And over here, cartoon physics, genius, petulant pig, clarity of purpose, and a ham it up. 3 threat on the main. Attacking over here. What's he do again? Discard 7 cards, just 1. All right, we're going to take it for place a threat on each scheme is our boost. 1, 2, 3. And he's hitting us for 2. So go down to 4. Gain a counter, and then we're discarding 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. See what kind of goodies we're missing. Hogwash, team building. All right, not the best, but oh well. We took damage, so that moves to Scorpion, which is unfortunate for him. It's so unfortunate that we're going to have Marvel Boy defend for him. So base 3, 4 damage, and he's out. Get our encounter cards. Hero, the villain with the highest activation order value, attacks you with plus X, where X is equal to the total attack of all other villains in play. All right, well, that just got worse. All right, so he's attacking here. Spider Suit's going to defend for this one. So it's going to be 3 plus 1. So 6 damage. We blocked 2, taking 4 down to 10. We took damage, so that moves, and we're now stunned. And then resolve the ambush ability on the main scheme. Surprise! So the ambush, choose a set aside villain at random. Got all 4 of them here. Put the villain into play and place the active counter on it. Doc Ock is back, and he's mad, and he's active. All right, pass first player. All right, we're going to ready and attack to get rid of stunned. Then we're going to use that to bring in Speed Metal Alloy, so when we defend, we can exhaust that to get plus 2 defense. Then we're going to spend that on an all systems go to search our deck and discard pile for an interface upgrade and add it to our hand. I think we need some threat help. That does the attacking. Psychic Link does the thwarting. That's all the suits got. We are going to take a damage down to 3 to create a resource, get a tune counter, bring in some cartoon physics, so when we would take any amount of damage, discard this, wiggle our body, and prevent all of 1 of that damage. Then we're going to ham it up. Remove a threat from a scheme for each tune counter on Spider Ham, so that is not... We are not thwarting ourselves, that's just a card. So our basic thwart, so we can remove from the main on that. Actually, before I do that, put the 3 back on. We are going to stick our tongue out at the villain. You have to trust me on this. Villain attacks you, and then we draw 3 cards. All right, sticking our tongue out at Doc Ock. He's attacking us for base 5 damage. We're going to use that, so we wiggle our body, and we take 1 damage. Gain a token. Add a threat to each scheme. Wait, 10, 20, yeah, that's right. And that moves over. We draw 3 cards. Ham it up, Swinging Web Pig, and Strength. Now we'll ham it up that we have 4 counters. Then we're going to ham it up again. Then Swinging Web Pig. Deal 6 damage to an enemy and confuse that enemy. Let's see, reduced by 1, so he'll take 5 and get confused. Actually, we're going to do it over here. Take 6 and get confused. Then we're going to flip over and heal for 5 up to 7. Gets us a token. And end her turn, we're going to keep Genius, 1 by 1, Power of Aggression, Scarlet Spider, Energy, and the Daily Beagle. Over here, get some energy. Three threat comes out, getting attacked by Electro. We're going to take it for 1, just 1. Down to 9. We took a damage, so we're going to discard the top 7 cards of our deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There goes Aunt May and Uncle Ben. That moves over. Goes to Scheme, lose Confused. And counter cards. Attach to the villain with the most remaining hit points. If you cannot resolve the ambush ability, threat cannot be removed from light at the end. Well, we haven't even started that. We're not off to a good start. So I've got 8. He's got 3 left and 8. So we can put him on either of these. We're going to put it on Doc Ock. And hey, he gets another one. And we'll pass first player. All right, we're going to ready that because we should have. Anyway, all right, then exhaust. So we're up to 12 health. Gets us a token. Bring in the Daily Beagle, alter ego action, exhaust it to place a tune counter on Peter Porker. Flip over, spend a counter. With organic webbing so we can ready. Going to use 2 tokens as resources to bring in the Scarlet Spider. Thwart 1, attack for 2, 4 health. Play only if you control a Web Warrior card, which we do. As an interrupt, when you would reveal an encounter card, name a card type, then look at that card. That card type is of the name type. Deal 1 damage to Scarlet Spider and draw a card. Then we will attack for 2. We're going to take a damage to create a resource. Which gets us a tune counter. For 1 by 1, deal 2 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats that enemy, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So we're going to defeat here. Remove 4 threat from a side scheme, which is 3 times, not going to be that one. Put that in the right spot. That's going to be one of my hard things to do. And deal 2 damage somewhere else to Doc Ock. And that's the only place we can thwart from, but we have 3 other cards saying we can't thwart from there, so we will attack for 1. And he does have a damage on him. All right, we're going to bring in a Psychic Link. So if we make a basic thwart, we can exhaust this for +2 thwart. But we're going to attack for 3. Then we're going to ready and attack for 3 more. And remove 4 threat from a side scheme. Which is this one. Then spend 2 resources to bring in Under Surveillance, attach to the main scheme, increase its threat value by 4, so this now goes to 20. And that's going to be your turn. We're going to go ahead and keep Power of Aggression. I don't think so. 1 by 1, grab an encounter card and shuffle. Got 2 more cards coming. Piercing Strike and Marvel Boy. Grab our 3 cards over here. Strength, Spider-Woman, and a Web of Life and Destiny, which is unique. So 3 threat. Attacking, we're going to take it for 1 damage. Nice. But we're going to go through 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cartoon Physics. Pig. Then attacking over here, we're going to defend for 4. 3 damage coming our way, we're fine. And counter cards, we're going to say Treachery. It is. So when you would reveal on a counter card, name the card type. If it is, deal a damage to him and draw a card. Team building exercise, so scheming for 2. 3, deal 1 indirect damage to each player. So scheme for 3. Indirect damage. Oops, down to 9. Down to 9. And we say thank you. And hope this doesn't take all those away. Alright, surprise. Resolve the ambush ability on the main scheme. If no villain was put in play this way. Alright, so we've got 5 cards here. And coming in, we get Craven the Hunter. Order 4 becomes first one. Then on this side, the villain's going to scheme for 1, just 1. Alright, so we're up to 11 on that. Pass first player. Well, first order of business is ready. Hero action. Give the villain a tough status card and a face down boost card. And discard this. So the villain is him. Face down boost. 9 health. We are going to attack for 3 over here. Spend a token to deal damage to 2 different enemies. Get rid of tough and 4. So then we'll bring in Spider-Woman. Thwart 1, attack of 2, 3 health. Reduce the cost of player by 1 for each confused enemy, which is 0. She's going to come in and attack for 2. Take her to consequential. Then over here, we've got a clarity of purpose. Take a damage. Grab a token. We created a resource. 1 by 1, deal 2 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats that enemy, deal 2 damage to another one. So that's going to defeat Electro, which will remove 4 threat or 2. Hey, it's a side scheme going. I got that taken care of. Or 1 more. That is a victory point. 2 damage here then. Scarlet Spider is going to attack for 2. Piercing Strike to deal 3 damage to an enemy. Use 2 tokens to bring in Marvel Boy. Thwart a 0, attack of 2, 2 health, and we'll have him attack for 2, which will defeat, which now removes 7 threat from a side scheme, and we can start dealing with this finally. And I'm assuming the boost is going to go away since we have no villain. Alright, then we're going to spend 2 tokens for a team building exercise. So as a hero action, we can exhaust that, play a card from our hand that shares a trait worth a hero, reducing its resource cost by 1. Then we're going to thwart for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which will come off of this. We'll spend a token to ready and thwart for 5, which will still come off of that. Then we'll end our turn. We're going to keep, I don't think so, just in case. Strength, uppercut, swinging web pig, and clarity of purpose. And over here, lady spider, our web fluid compressor, and all systems go. 3 threat. Attacking over here. I've pitched those 2 in the wrong spot, which I'm sure you all saw. Didn't matter yet. All right, we've got all 6. And coming in, Doc Ock is back for the 3rd time. Attacking for base 2. Spider-Woman's going to defend. So 1, 2, look at the right card. 3 damage, she goes away. She is a web warrior. That left play. And we're going to let Spider Suit draw a card. Spider Command. Then getting attacked over here. Marvel Boy is going to take this one. For 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice to see that go away. He is not a web warrior. And counter cards. First one, Inherited Burden. Give to Penny Parker. We may flip to Alter Ego. We will. Oops, wrong one. Exhaust Penny Parker. Remove this from the game. And done. Hopefully she gets a hot dog too. Then over here, let's see, put the set-aside Dr. Octopus and Scorpion into play. If Doc Ock is already in play, confuse a character you control. Oh, he's confused. Forgot to guess, but that's optional at least. So we're looking for Scorpion. And pass first player. Well, since he's confused, he'll attack for 2. I don't like that guy hitting so hard. He's unconfused, but in the discard pile, and as a web warrior, we're going to draw a card. Because we're a genius. Then we're going to be a swinging web pig, dealing 6 damage to an enemy and confuse that enemy. So 8 out of 10. Actually, we didn't need to spin that. Team building. So now we'll do an uppercut for 5 damage. We'll do that to Doc Ock. Where are we at here? 18 and 14. So thwarting for 5. Spend a token to ready. Now we can thwart for 5 here. Then, yeah, we're going to flip over and get a token. Over here, we will exhaust to get 2 cards. Overwatch and clear the area. Make everyone scream at me. I'm going to discard a card to get 3 tokens. Then we'll go to hero form and ready. I'm going to play an Overwatch on light at the end of the tunnel. So when any amount of threat is removed from that by a thwart, we can discard an equal amount somewhere else. Actually, I'll hold off on doing that. We'll just put it over here. Then we're going to attack for 3 to take care of Doc Ock. Got 5 there. With that over, we get to take 4 off of this. And we'll spin 2 to bring in a web fluid compressor. Then we'll spin that for an all systems go to ready each interface upgrade we control. Then we'll spin 4 to bring in Lady Spider. Thwart a 2 attack for 2/4 health. After she thwarts, removes threat from a scheme. If you control another Web Warrior card, remove an equal amount of threat from a different scheme. So she'll take 2 off of this one and then 2 off of that one. Then we will ready. And I don't think I want to finish him since he's confused and he's flipped over. So we're going to thwart for 2. And use that to remove 2 threat from a scheme. And end her turn. Since we're Alter Ego, we'll pitch that. So some cartoon physics, piercing strike, energy, Tigra, ham it up, and 1 by 1. And over here, 3 cards. Justice served, intuition, and silk. 3 threat. Goes to scheme, lose, confuse. Attack over here, Lady Spider. 1, 2, 3 damage is enough to take her out. She's a Web Warrior. We'll let him draw a card into a web trap. And counter cards. Resolve the ambush ability on a main scheme. Got 5 there. So who pops up this time? Craven the Hunter. And the villain attacks you. Oh, Craven attacks him. Let's see what he does. Choose and discard a support or upgrade you control. Not a fan of that. So we're going to defend for 4. So 1, 2, just enough to hit us for 1. So we're going to lose Sense of Justice. Took damage, that moves over. And pass first player. All right, we are going to ready. Then attack for 3 to defeat the Scorpion, which will take off 4. Then we're going to play a Web Trap. Using that, deal 5 damage to an enemy. If you paid for this card using our ratio ability, stun that enemy. So 5 and stunned. Then we're going to use that and this to play Heroic Intuition over here. Give us +1 thwarts. Now we're thwarting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to flip over and heal for 4 up to 11. Over here, we're going to heal for 5 or up to 12 anyway. Grab a token, use the Beagle to grab another token. Flip over. We're going to ham it up to remove 6 threat for light at the end. So that's going to come in with 10 per player, so 25. Players cannot win unless they escape. When the last threat is removed from the scheme, the players escape and win the game. Gets us an extra encounter card though. So there's 20 and 5. Spend a token to ready. Do some team building for some cartoon physics. We'll bring in Tigra. Thwart 1, attack for 2, 3 health. After she attacks and defeats a minion, heal a damage from her. She's going to thwart for 1. Then we're going to take a damage, create a resource, get a tune counter, deal 2 damage to an enemy. We're not going to defeat it though. 7 out of 9. Then we will thwart for 6. And end her turn. All right, drawing 4 cards. You'll get 3 Spider-Man, Spycraft, clear the area, and an encounter card. Shuffle, we got 1 more on the way. Oops, we'll put that in the right spot. Genius. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ham it up, clarity purpose, Captain Americat, hogwashed, and a ghost spider. So 3 threat goes to Scheme for base 1, 4. Goes to attack, lose stun. Get an encounter card here. 1 over here. Acceleration. And light at the end is going to give us another one. Make sure I'm not missing anything there. Nope. Okay. Attach to the villain with the highest activation order. X is equal to the number of villains in play. So he's getting +1. He's got a heightened morale all of a sudden. Let's see. Put the set-aside Electro and Craven into play. If Craven is already in play, discard the lowest cost card you control. That's going to be this, because those are permanents. And Electro comes in. He activates second. Then over here, the villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. So he's swinging for 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll take it. 5, 6. So we go down to 5. Grab a token, and we're going to counterattack to deal 5 damage to him, which will defeat him. And remove 4. Then, the villain with the highest activation order value attacks you with +X attack, where X is equal to the total attack. So he's just attacking for a base 1. And we'll let that come. Oh yes, he attacked us and we took damage. Discard a supporter, upgrade you control. We're going team building. Alright, so he's attacking us for 1. Put this minion into play, engage with you. So we take 1. We get a counter, then we're going to discard the top 7 cards of our deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's awesome. So we went through our deck, we get another encounter card. And that one is, put the set aside Hobgoblin and Vulture into play. Vulture and Hobgoblin. So 6 and 3 in the order. And pass first player. All right, we're going to spend 3 tokens. To bring in Ghost Spider, thwart 1, attack 2, 3 health. We've got Web Warrior in play. So when she leaves play, search your deck for an identity-specific event and add it to your hand. Then we're going to play Hogwashed. Hero action, remove a tune counter from Spider-Ham. Loudly read the card's flavor text. Pow, wham, back, smack, and boink. Choose either deal 5 damage to minion or remove 5 threat from a side scheme. We are going to take out the decoy, which will take care of this. Then we're going to ham it up, removing 3 threat from a scheme. Let's see. We're going to use 2 tokens to help pay for Captain Americat. 4 to 2, attack for 2, 3 health. After he enters play, give someone a high 5. We'll give it to him. Place a tune counter on your identity and shuffle a Spider-Ham card from your discard pile to your deck. And we'll shuffle ham it up in here. All right, 12 and more than 12, so we will thwart for 5, or is it 6 now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Spend a token to ready. Ghost Spider will attack for 2. Tigra will attack for 2. Captain Americat will thwart for 2. We're going to go take a breather. Heal up to 9, grab a token for healing, and then use the Beagle. Of course, that was exhausted. To grab another token. I'll discard a card to get 3 counters. We're going to go ahead and flip over. We're going to attack for 3, which will defeat here, but we're going to spend a token to do 1 and 1. So 4 threat comes off. Then we'll ready. Attack for 3. Spin to make it 5 and 2. Actually, when we attacked, make it +2 attack to make it 7. Then bring in Spider-Man. 4 to 1, attack for 2. 2 health, play only if you control a Web Warrior card. After you play Spider-Man from your hand, ready an upgrade you control. If that upgrade has a tech trait, draw a card. Going to ready the Host Spider. And then, whoops. Ready our suit. Attack for 3. Deal a damage to both. So that's going to take this up to 6. Take him out. Removing 4 threat. Instead of flipping over, should have attacked or used him to attack for 2. My mistake. We'll go another round. So thwart for 1. Didn't do the math right. All right, ending your turn. Actually, no, we're not. Clear the area to remove 2 threat from a scheme. And we'll take it from here. Now we're done. All right, drawing 3. Venom, Spider-Man, and Energy. And over here, counterattack, team building exercise, 1x1, piercing strike, uppercut, and power of aggression. 3 threat. Scheming for 2, 3, 4. Attacking for 1. Well, going into Spider-Man down here. Just 1, which is enough to take him out. There's a Web Warrior that went out. So have Spider Suit draw a card. And counter cards, +1. That's a villain with the lowest activation order. So you can't remove from the main scheme. Resolve the ambush ability on the main scheme. All right, we're getting another friend. And that's going to be Dr. Octopus. Well, actually, let me reshuffle. Hey, Doc Ock. Discard and upgrade your support you control. Get rid of the Psychic Link. Pass first player. Okay, we are going to attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. After our attack, we'll spend a token to deal 1 damage to 2 different enemies. 7 out of 9 and 6 out of 8. And we're just going to end our turn there. And over here, we're going to flip over. Clarity of purpose, take a damage. To create a resource for 1x1. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats that enemy, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So it's going to take both of these out. And when they go away, we're going to take away 4 and then 7 over here. So light at the end of the tunnel is done. I actually didn't want to finish this. I didn't want many victory points in this one. Reason being, I really don't care about the symbiote suit upgrade, even though I know people love that. So victory points, we're still ending up with 2 from there. No minions in play, we get 3. No side schemes in play, we get 4. No threat on the main scheme, didn't get that one. We had fewer than that. So we're still ending up with 6. Which is just going to be enough to get us up to the 25 to get the symbiote suit that we may put in play. That I'm not going to, but we get the extra encounter card, which is not what I wanted. So that was our victory conditions. Community service, we didn't get that done. And last one standing. We took care of all the villains, so we don't have to record any names. So next up is Venom Goblin, our final battle. So, like I said, we will be getting an extra encounter card for each of our players for that one. We also are getting a helicarrier for each of our characters, but we are getting another Osborn tech. So let's go ahead and see what that's going to be. So giving a shuffle, we are getting kinetic armor. So he gains retaliate as a hero action, take 3 indirect damage to discard that. So as always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.